volcanic eruptions durably impact the North Atlantic climate. Particles emitted during major volcanic eruptions eventually cool the atmosphere due to a parasol effect that reflects the sunlight. The direct impact of the particles in the atmosphere is short, lasting about 2 to 3 years, but they do alter for more than 20 years the North Atlantic ocean circulation. So that perhaps has to do with what happens with the polar vortex. They alter the North Atlantic circulation, which connects surface and deep currents and influences the climate in Europe and, of course, North America. This is the conclusion of a recent study by researchers from CNRS. This is the article that they're giving us. IDR, IRDCEA, and Météo France. They combined their research for the first time. Climate simulations, recent oceanographic data, and information from natural climate records. And their findings were published in Nature Communications the past March. The Atlantic Ocean, as we know, is home to variations in surface temperature that last for several decades, affecting Europe's climate, and this slow variability and changes is caused by changes in the ocean circulation, which connects surface to deep currents and transports heat from the tropics to Norway and Greenland seas. But the reason for this variability is still very poorly understood. So in order to elucidate its mechanics, the researchers first used information from the natural climate record covering the last 1,000 years. By studying the chemical composition of water from the ice cores of Greenland, they were able to estimate past temperature changes. The data shows the close connection between the surface temperatures of the Atlantic Ocean and air temperatures over Greenland, showing that climate variability in the region is a periodic phenomenon. Some of those cycles or oscillations last about 20 years. By using numerical simulations for more than 20 different climate models, the researchers also show that major volcanic eruptions, like that of Mount Agung in Indonesia in 1963, or Pinatubo in the Philippines of 1991, could significantly alter ocean circulation all the way from the Pacific all the way to the North Atlantic. As we know, Mount Agung in the Philippines and Pinatubo, Mount Agung, Indonesia, and Pinatubo, Philippines are on the Ring of Fire in the Pacific Ocean. So they alter the circulation in the North Atlantic. This is because the large quantities of particles emitted by these eruptions into the upper atmosphere reflects part of the solar sunlight radiation, but rather like a parasol, an umbrella, causing the climate at the Earth's surface to cool. The cooling, which only lasts about 2 or 3 years, then triggers a rearrangement of ocean circulation in the North Atlantic Ocean. Around 15 years after the beginning of the eruption, the circulation speeds up and then slows down after 25 years, before accelerating again 35 years after the phenomena. Volcanic eruptions, therefore, appear to act as the ocean circulation in the North Atlantic, rather like a pacemaker, causing variability over a 20-year period. The scientists confirmed these results by comparing them with observations of ocean salinity, the amount of salt in the ocean, a key factor in the sinking of water, and therefore for ocean circulation. In numerical simulations and modern oceanographic data, they detected similar variations in the early 1970s and 1990s connected to the eruption of Agung volcano. Using data from Greenland ice cores and observations carried out on bivalve mollusks collected to the north of Iceland and dating back more than 500 years, as well as simulating the climate over the last 1,000 years, the researchers systematically identified acceleration of ocean circulation 15 years after volcanic eruptions that took place several hundred years ago. Lastly, the researchers revealed the interference produced by the latest 3 main eruptions, Agung in 1963, El Chichon in Mexico in 1982, and Pinatubo in 1991. Well, we also know that in 1980 we also had the Mount St. Helens eruption. And the Pinatubo of 1991 explaining for the first time the recent variability of currents in the North Atlantic Ocean, they concluded that a major eruption in the future could have an impact on the currents in the North Atlantic Ocean, and hence on our ability to predict the variability of the climate in Europe over several decades. They now hope to consolidate these findings by collecting data from additional sources, especially in paleoclimatology. This is by CNRS, journal Nature Communications. It's on phys.org. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.